For over a decade, The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills has given audiences luxury, chaos, and unforgettable drama. But few storylines have ever hit as close to home as that of Kyle Richards and Mauricio Umansky. They were once the golden couple of Beverly Hills, the kind of love story Bravo fans rooted for amid the chaos of diamonds and dinner parties. Mauricio, the charming real estate mogul whose calm steadiness balanced Kyle's humor and fiery personality, and Kyle, the longtime reality star whose laughter and vulnerability made her one of the most relatable women in the franchise. But lately, something's changed, something the fans can feel. The silence that started it all. It began subtly. Kyle started showing up to events without her wedding ring. Mauricio appeared on social media less and less, and when he did, the captions were carefully worded, the smiles just a little too posed. Then came the headlines. Are Kyle Richards and Mauricio Umansky still together? Fans noticed Kyle missing from Mauricio's latest post. For viewers used to seeing them together constantly, it felt like the end of an era. At first, Kyle brushed it off. On Watch What Happens Live, she told Andy Cohen with that practiced, careful smile, "We're just going through a rough patch, Andy. Every marriage does." But fans noticed the hesitation, that slight tremor in her voice, the flicker in her eyes. Mauricio, for his part, stayed quiet. Busy with buying Beverly Hills, he told interviewers that he and Kyle were working through things privately. It sounded calm, mature, but beneath the surface, everyone could sense that this wasn't just another argument about schedules or parenting. This was deeper. A marriage built in the spotlight. Kyle and Mauricio's love story began long before the world of Bravo cameras and red carpet premieres. They met in the early 1990s, a young actress and a rising real estate agent who built a family together from scratch. 3 daughters, multiple homes, countless family trips. They lived the dream that Beverly Hills itself sold, beautiful, affluent, and seemingly untouchable. But being in the public eye for over a decade took its toll. Between the Real Housewives, buying Beverly Hills, and their daughters' growing fame, privacy became a luxury they could no longer afford. On camera, Kyle laughed off the rumors, she always did. But in confessionals, her voice would sometimes crack. The pressure of perfection, the endless judgment from strangers online, and the feeling of having to perform happiness even when it wasn't there, it was catching up to her. In one memorable scene, Kyle said quietly, "People think I have this perfect life, but sometimes even I don't know what's real anymore." And fans remembered. The distance. By the time season 13 rolled around, the distance between Kyle and Mauricio was impossible to ignore. She was working out more, traveling with friends like Morgan Wade, and embracing a kind of freedom viewers hadn't seen in years. Mauricio, meanwhile, was focused on expanding his business empire, closing million-dollar listings, mentoring agents, and filming the second season of his Netflix show. They were still smiling together for family photos, but the warmth between them was fading. Even their daughters, usually quick to post family selfies and affectionate captions, grew quieter. There were fewer group photos, fewer glimpses into their home life. And that's when the whispers began. Was this just a trial separation, or was it over for good? The emotional toll. Behind the scenes, friends say Kyle was struggling. She had always been the strong one, the peacemaker, the hostess, the mother who could juggle chaos with grace. But now, the cracks were showing. When asked about the rumors at BravoCon, Kyle looked visibly emotional. "We love each other," she said carefully, "and we're family. That's not changing." But she also added something she never had before. "I'm learning who I am outside of that relationship." That one sentence sent shockwaves through the Bravo world. It was no longer about reconciliation. It was about identity. About a woman who had spent most of her adult life being someone's wife and someone's mother, suddenly facing herself alone. Mauricio, meanwhile, spoke to Entertainment Tonight, saying, "It's been hard. There's a lot of love, but we're giving each other space." That phrase, "giving each other space," became the new emotional headline. Public pressure, private pain. What makes Kyle and Mauricio's story so compelling isn't just the heartbreak, it's the way they've chosen to face it. There's no messy social media war, no public accusations, no tabloid meltdowns. Just quiet honesty and the shared desire to protect their family. That kind of maturity is rare in Hollywood. Yet fans can't help but read between the lines. When Kyle posted a photo of herself in Aspen, looking peaceful and reflective, the comments flooded in. "She looks free. This is the Kyle we've been waiting to see." But what about Mauricio? And when Mauricio was spotted out dancing with the Star's partner Emma Slater, fans jumped to conclusions. The internet dissected every hand touch, every laugh, every glance. It became clear, even when they tried to live privately, the world refused to let them. The Bravo connection. Inside Bravo, Kyle's storyline became one of the most watched arcs of the season. Producers didn't have to manufacture drama. Real life was already writing it for them. During a cast dinner, Dorit asked softly, "Are you and Mo okay?" Kyle sighed, "We're figuring it out." It was a vulnerable moment, raw and human. The kind that reminded viewers that behind the designer gowns and private jets, these women were living real emotions. Erika Jayne, surprisingly, offered the most insight when she said in a confessional, "You never really know what's going on in someone's marriage until it breaks." That's when it hit everyone. This wasn't just a storyline. This was a family at a crossroads. Reflections on love and change. After months of speculation, Kyle finally spoke openly during the reunion taping. With tears in her eyes, she said, "Mauricio and I will always love each other. But right now, we need to grow separately. That doesn't erase everything we've built. It just means we're in a different chapter." Andy Cohen nodded empathetically. "You've been with him for nearly 3 decades. That's a lifetime, Kyle." And it is. 30 years of shared dreams, laughter, and children. 30 years of building a brand, a home, a life. Mauricio echoed that sentiment in an interview later, saying, "She's my best friend. No matter what happens, that won't change." Their words were simple but powerful. It wasn't bitterness that defined them, it was respect. The future of their family. Despite the heartache, Kyle and Mauricio continue to show up for their daughters, Farrah, Alexia, Sophia, and Portia. Whether it's family birthdays or public events, they stand side by side. Their ability to remain united as parents has drawn admiration from fans and fellow housewives alike. Kyle once said on camera, "We may not have the same marriage we used to, but we'll always be family. That's what matters." And perhaps that's what makes their story so different. It's not about a dramatic ending. It's about evolution. Healing in the spotlight. In recent months, Kyle has embraced wellness and self-discovery. She's spoken about meditation, sobriety, and the importance of solitude. She's been candid about her decision to stop drinking, saying it was less about control and more about clarity. Fans have noticed how her energy has shifted, calmer, softer, more intentional. Meanwhile, Mauricio continues to build the agency, focusing on expanding internationally. He's appeared more relaxed, more at ease with the new reality of their relationship. And while some fans still hold out hope for reconciliation, others believe this period apart is exactly what both of them need. The symbolism of the Aspen house. Perhaps no place represents their journey better than their beloved Aspen home. It's where they celebrated countless holidays, raised their kids, and filmed some of their happiest scenes. But it's also where, in recent seasons, Kyle was seen alone, quiet, contemplative, walking the snow-covered trails by herself. Fans couldn't help but read it as a metaphor. The house that once echoed with laughter now held silence. Still, she returned again and again, as if reclaiming it for herself. The legacy. If there's one thing Kyle and Mauricio have proven, it's that love doesn't always have to end to change. Sometimes it transforms. Their marriage, whether together or apart, has left an indelible mark on reality TV. It's rare to see two people navigate fame, family, and heartbreak with such composure. Kyle's openness about her feelings has inspired women everywhere who are learning to redefine themselves after decades in long relationships. And Mauricio's quiet dignity has shown what grace looks like in a world obsessed with spectacle. Closing thoughts. As Bravo fans continue to speculate about what comes next, one truth remains constant. Kyle and Mauricio's bond isn't broken, it's simply evolving. Maybe one day they'll find their way back to each other, or maybe their journey is meant to continue on parallel paths. Either way, the love they built over 3 decades isn't disappearing. It's just changing shape, from romance to respect, from partnership to peace.